That's it. We'll turn it over to Lauren if you get us started.
Okay. I'd like to note that in the absence of our chairman, William Monroe, Commissioner Towns will be acting chairman for today's meetings. I'd like to request a motion and a second to call to order the June 12, 2014 meeting of the Sunny May Mortgage Insurance Committee.
So moved.
Second?
The motion and second will be, I'm sorry, the motion was from,
No, Tony, you're not on the committee.
yeah, you can, okay.
No,
Second.
I'm a ventriloquist.
There you go, okay.
Second.
Motion is,
Mine's not fun, you know.
Did you start with different things? We're all on the committee, aren't we?
Right.
No?
No, Tony's not.
Oh, Tony?
yeah.
Guest.
Okay, so the motion is from Commissioner Towns, the second from
Okay, so
Okay. The motion and second recorded will be used for all action items before the committee unless specific items call for a different vote or unless any committee member wishes to record his or her vote differently. The minutes of the meeting of the Mortgage Insurance Committee held on May 8, 2014 shall be deemed approved, absent corrections from the directors.
The meeting will move to the Mortgage Insurance Committee program actions.
Go then.
First item is a resolution recommending the approval of 100% mortgage insurance on a $6,900,000
No, it won't go.
HFA permanent first mortgage loan on Linwood Allentown Preservation.
work?
Okay, there's amended material in the director's folders showing that the HFA first mortgage is $17,970,000. The HFA subsidy loan is $3 million. And Exhibit B, there's also an amended Exhibit B that shows that the income to expense ratio with the increased loan amount is 1.08. And there's another exhibit that shows that the loan to value ratio with the increased loan amount is 80%. The Linwood Allentown project comprises the mod rehabilitation of 296 all low-income units. There is a HAP contract covering all of the units. And in addition to the insured first mortgage, there's $10 million in federal low-income housing tax credits and $4 million in federal and state historic tax credits. I would like to direct the directors to Exhibit E in the original material, Exhibit F, which shows these are really nice-looking historic buildings. They're all between 70 and 100 years old. And it's the historic tax credits that make the deal work from a financial perspective. The development team is a highly experienced development team. And the loan amount is $57,000 per unit, which equals only 40% of the project's total development cost of $142,000 a unit. So this is a very efficient project. And the seller's note is actually a cash flow note. There isn't a hard coupon.
Who is the developer in this case involved?
There are three guys involved. There's Aaron Siegel, Brett Fitzpatrick, and Robert Morgan. Morgan is probably the best known of the three, and he has a portfolio of over $1.5 billion. You know.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Further discussion?
I'd also like to note that the material in your folders included a revised resolution showing the 17 million loan amount. The resolution before the committee is recommending approval of mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for Linwood Allentown Preservation, 279 Niagara Street et al., Buffalo, Erie County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried.
Next item is a resolution approving 100% mortgage insurance on a $3,850,000 HFA permanent first mortgage loan for New York Rural Preservation, 7 developments in Saratoga, Worthington, Clinton, Oswego, and Delaware counties.
This comprises 100% insurance of an HFA mortgage for the mod rehab of 218, virtually all low-income units, all of the units, with the exception of 9 of the units. They're all low-income units, and there is rental assistance for all of the units. Some of it is project-based, Section 8, others rural assistance and rural rental assistance program. The development entity is controlled by Conifer, which is a repeat and well-regarded HFA and Sunny Mae borrower. The insured loan amount is only $17,000 per unit, which equals 17% of the total development cost of $105,000 per unit. So this is a very efficient project. The project would break even with a pro forma 9% vacancy and collection loss, or a 7% increase in operating expenses.
Further discussion?
The resolution before the committee is for approval of mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for New York Rural Preservation, Meadowview Apartments 2 and 3, 12 Meadowview Central Square, et al., Oswego, Saratoga, Washington, Clinton, and Delaware counties. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried.
Next item is a resolution recommending approval of 50% mortgage insurance on a $21,280,000 New York City HDC permanent first mortgage loan on PRC Monterey Avenue, 55 and 547 East 178th Street in Bronx.
This comprises mod rehab with tenants in place of 330, all low-income units. There's a 20-year HAP contract in place for all of the units. The development entity, PRC, was founded in 1971 and has developed over 5,000 units of affordable housing. This will be the third HDC loan that we have insured where PRC was the development entity. The loan amount is $65,000 per unit, which equals 37% of the project's total development cost of $174,000 per unit. So this is a fairly efficient project, and the project would break even with a pro forma 7% increase in operating expenses or a 10% vacancy rate. And the project will have Article 11 shelter rent tax abatement.
Further discussion?
Is this not federal low-income housing tax credit? It doesn't mention the federal, but it's the only one that doesn't mention it.
It does. In the sources and uses, it
Okay.
does have low-income housing, federal low-income housing tax
Okay,
credits.
that was, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. The resolution before the committee is recommending approval of mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for PRC Monterey Avenue, 555 and 547 East 178th Street et al. In Bronx County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the motion is carried.
Next item is a resolution approving 50% mortgage insurance on a permanent mortgage insurance for the Henry Apartments, 1674 84 Broadway, 76870 Decatur in Brooklyn.
This comprises the new development of 134 low-income units, and of the 134 units, 106 will be supportive housing units covered by a project-based Section 8 HAP contract. The development entity includes Alembic Development, which is a repeat HDC Sunny Mae borrower. One of the loans approved by the MIC last month was developed by Alembic, and their partner in this is a Services SUS, which is an experienced provider of mental health services. It's an affiliate of Services for the Underserved, and they will have an operating agreement with OMH to provide supportive services for the residents of 106 of the units. The loan amount is $93,000 per unit, which equals 20% of the project's total development cost, of $452,000 per unit. So this is a fairly expensive project. It would break even with a pro forma 13% vacancy rate or a 16% increase in operating expenses. And in addition to the $12 million insured first mortgage, there's $19 million in HPD and HDC subsidy and an additional $24 million in federal low-income housing tax credits.
The resolution before the committee is for approval of mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for the Henry Apartments, 1674 to 84 Broadway, and 768 to 70 Decatur, 1696 to 1712 Broadway, Kings County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. The motion is carried.
The director's material also includes a list of the MIF's top 25 borrowers. It shows that our aggregate exposure to the top 25 borrowers, the aggregate of policies in force and commitments is $1.27 billion. Our total book of business is almost $4 billion. So this represents about 30% of our total exposure. So we actually have very low concentration. I would note that two of the borrowers that the board approved today, Conifer, our total exposure is $85 million. And Property Resources Corporation, our total exposure is $68 million.
Questions, further discussions? Great, thank you, Mike.
Before the committee is a motion to adjourn. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye,
The motion is carried and the meeting is adjourned.
great.
Thank you.